Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another fantastic episode of Gaming After Dark podcast. I am your host, Mr. Boom Boom Kaboom. It's Noof Nukem in the room, and I am here with my incredible co-host, Mr.
Titan Drago.
Boom, and he's right on time and on cue tonight. That means the show is going to be lit. Now, obviously, I know you guys are very observative and probably thinking, why is there only two icons on the screen? I see Noof and I see Titan. Well, guys, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but Primal Eve, she can't make it tonight. Apparently, she's not feeling too well, so she's opted out. So I do apologize in advance. I'm sure she feels bad about it. Hoping and crossing my fingers to have her back next week. But she is not here tonight. And our guest for the evening is the one and the only Mr. Jago Kuken. You might know him as Retro Renegades now on Twitter. He had to change things up. He will be here, but he is running a little bit behind. He got off work late, so just give him some time. He didn't even make his other podcast today, so glad to have him on this one. In the meantime, we're going to get down to the topics and stuff in a minute, and I'm going to talk to Titan about what he's been up to, but let's catch up with the chat and say hello to everybody that's jumped in already. We got an amazing 17 people already hanging out with us. Let's start out with VJ. What's going on, brother? Our always stalwart and dependable Mr. Timothy Dixon is in the house. We got Jay Swoles 510. We got Mr. Fugly. We got Infinite. We have got who we got here? We got Spider-Man. Yes, the always dependable Spider-Man is swinging on in. Crispy Bomb is in the house. I knew I heard some bombs drop. We got Cyber Gunter. We got Dreadpool. We got Dravenero. We got Crazy Greek Dude. We got Casket Repair. Mr. Matty Burns is in the house. Matt, I do apologize, brother, but we got to catch up on that Dead Space real soon. I want to finish that up, brother, and we will do that soon, promise. Yeah, man. Who else we got going on? Darko's Dreamers. We got the Blue and Mr. Brandon. What's up, the Blue? The Blue came and helped me out on some Borderlands the other night. Always a blast. Jay Slayer Jay is in the house. We got middle-aged game guy. UK Dazzy is here. So there you go. The who's who, the amazing cream of the crop of people that come out to support this podcast. We love you guys. You're fantastic. Yes, we hope Eve gets well. So Titan Drago, brother, what's been keeping you busy? Any games on the agenda the last couple of days? What's happening?
Yeah, I've been on this Kingdom Sim rampage lately these past couple weeks, and during this last week, I beat that game, Yes, Your Grace. Really cool game.
Last week, yeah.
I really like it, man. It's like a decision making kind of supply management kind of thing, and then at the end of the game, it always recaps. It recaps of the decisions you made and how it's affected the kingdom. I love that when games do that. It makes you feel like your decisions had an actual impact, and it really does, because I remember I saved the game at one point, made a clutch decision, and X scenario unfolded. So I reloaded that game, made a different decision, and a completely different scenario unfolded. A lot of times in these decision games, you'll do that. You'll make one decision, and it's like, oh, well, Johnny died, Noof Nukem died, and then you go back and make a different decision, and he just dies in a different way, Well, this doesn't do that, and I really like that about it. And then I bought another Kingdom Sim where I beat a couple of its scenarios, but yeah, that's what I've been up to.
Sounds good. Sounds like you've been a busy man, and I will definitely have to check out that particular game that you were very fond to tell us about last week. Maybe that's why Primal's not here. She said you wanted to play it. I don't know.
Yeah, she did.
She's just busy playing games. But no, in all fairness, guys, like she couldn't be here. She's not feeling too well. She's busy girl. Her job's been keeping her late. So Midway Monster is in the house. What's up, brother? Glad you could be here, guys. Everybody, thank you so much. For myself, I've been just playing some Ghost of Tsushima, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later on tonight, because obviously they've got some incredible co-op coming out. That's one of our topics tonight. Can't wait to dive into that. I've also been trying to get back on my Switch a little bit. I've neglected that little console for a little while, so just restart it back up. Darksiders War Mastered Edition, and it's pretty good. I mean, I love the Darksiders game. So a game that I never finished, actually, so gives me a chance to get back into it, take it on the go, and it actually looks pretty damn good on the Switch. Runs pretty well. So
about my controller too. I just got my custom controller in Titan Drago purple, and I tweeted it out and got a couple responses that were like, they had like the like literally like the exact same controller. It was really cool, man. Really cool. Like a lot of people. Out of all the combinations, there's like billions of combination possibilities. Yeah, it's so crazy.
I like it. You kept it simple. If it had a little green in there, it would have reminded me of the Joker suit there.
Well, what I was going for, you know what? When I made that controller, it reminds me of like boxing gloves, man. Like that white on the thumbsticks absolutely just pops out, man. I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. My controller that I did is orange and blue, like the Edmonton Oiler colors, which is my favorite hockey team. So that's what I did for mine. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but yeah, I love my custom controller. I don't use it at all, really, because I'm kind of afraid to. You know, I spent all that money. I don't really want to break it. Does that sound weird or what?
You don't want to? No, like I don't. I really don't want to. Like I was just looking at it, man, because it's so white and clean. Like I didn't want to touch it, you know, because I know it's gonna get dirty eventually, and it's like gonna lose its luster. But yeah, I completely understand where you're coming from.
Before we get to our special guest of the evening, who I couldn't wait to get back on the show, glad he could be here. We will get to him just momentarily. Let's catch up with the super chat. Midway Monster drops $5. He says, "Did you see the digital codes in the smaller Xbox cases? Noof, would you be interested in that? Titan bringing common back to sense." Indeed. To answer your question, I have not seen them. I heard about them before. I know Microsoft talked about them a while back. Basically, you basically get an Xbox case and inside is a digital code, which, well, as cool as that kind of seems from a collector standpoint of having the case, it's still kind of pointless. It's just like I'm buying a case now. Like, why don't I'll just get the digital version if it's going to be that kind of weird and wacky. So, no, not something I'm actually interested in at all. I want the actual disc. I want to be able to install it. It's because at the end of the day, that's still a digital code. It's still a digital purchase. So it's, I want the disc-based licensing. And let's catch up with our guest, who was not too bad. Who came in a little bit late, but just like he kicks ass and Killer Instinct, yeah, he is not done until the final round is over. Mr. Jago Kuken.
What's up, bro? How you doing? What's up, Titan? What's up, chat?
Yeah.
Just walked in the door literally like 20 minutes ago, man. I've worked from like 7 this morning till like almost 10 tonight, dude.
Well, glad
don't
be here,
just juke off, man.
Hope you saved a little energy for the show. Maybe you got a little bit.
I'm just getting started, baby. I didn't get to do this on Retro Renegades. Ready?
There you go. So it sounds like Jago's pumped up. I know Titan's always ready to go. Oh, he's popping beers already. There you go. UK Daz is in the house, so you know the beer is going to be flowing. Anime Heaven is in the house. What's going on? Anime Cyber Gunter is here. Free Jack, baby. What's going on, my good buddy Free Jack, man? Dude, I miss you, man. We got to hang out soon. Hopefully this COVID shit fucking soon kicks the bucket. I don't know. Crazy. It is hot as fuck, yes. And the Great White North, he drops the $5 super chat. Says, hot as fuck in the Great White North. Have a good podcast. Thanks, Mr. Free Jack. We will catch up with you soon, brother. Thanks again for the super chats, guys. Always appreciate it. Like I said, eventually I'll try to do a great giveaway. And just a reminder for anybody who is new to this podcast, I mean, it's a typical podcast in most respects, but just keep in mind that it is a little bit more adult rated. So you will see a bit of language. You will maybe hear some sexual innuendo. And unfortunately tonight, there's no Primal Eve, which means we got a 3-way sausage fest going up in here. So, yeah, it's going to be a dick measuring contest tonight. I think it's all males in the fucking chat here too. So yeah, but no females here. Let's just say that my biscuit's a little bit limp here right now. So
Limp biscuit.
I did it all for the nookie.
I couldn't stick it in her cookie.
But I put it in her ass. All right. This show is going to be all sorts of peanuts tonight. Yes. All right. Let's go. Jago, what have you been up to, man? Outside, obviously working hard, but what games have you been able to sink your teeth into? I know you've been playing the Avengers a little bit, and I know you're a big fan, I think, of Ghost of Tsushima, and that's one of our topics tonight. So what have you been able to play?
I actually don't have Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Toshiba, I don't have it there. I don't know. For some reason, that game just didn't. I don't know. It didn't. I just wasn't the day one for me. I was just like, I'll wait, but I'll pick it up later. But honestly,
you didn't buy Ghost?
No.
I thought you did. I thought you did for some reason. Maybe I'm paying attention to somebody else, but I really thought you did. But no, I think you'll like it, man.
No, I played The Last of Us 2 day one, but not Ghost. I haven't. That's why I haven't bought that. I'm very picky, man. The older I get, the older I get, the less games I find seem to be interesting to me. And then, like, I'm crazy because, like, I played the Avengers beta, and a lot of people are shitting on it. I'm like, I fucking love this game. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know, man.
Oh, you're digging it.
The old when we get at our age right now, like even when the wife is available, you know, we don't even dive between the meat curtains anymore without a little lubricant, you know.
Honestly, man, with my time, like today was fucking terrible. I can tell I'm getting older because I used to do this crap 7 days a week, 30, 40, 50 days straight sometimes, and I could still go like shower and go out and party and be out till like 5 a.m. and get 2 hours of sleep and go back and do it again. Now I'm lucky if I'll eat dinner. If I get home at a normal time, I eat dinner, and like within 30 minutes, I'm fucking asleep in the recliner.
Well, my big problem is, see, I like to drink and eat, but that's half the problem because when I'm drinking and eating, that means I'm also needing to be shitting. I got no gallbladder, so stuff goes through me like X-Lax, man. I'm telling you. I have anything greasy, I'll be like running for cover. You know what I mean? Yo,
what have I been playing? I mean, other than the Marvel's Avengers, baby, like, dude, I really like. My old lady wants me to watch shows with her.
Yeah.
Or Sleep wants me to take a nap. I mean, I'm all over the place. Like that free to play game, I got a code for that just came out. Played it one time, enjoyed it. God, I can't remember the name of it now.
How's your dog, by the way? Dog's doing good?
Oh yeah. Vader and Mir,
Vader?
Yeah, they're just getting old. Yeah.
Good. Did you pick up a cat too recently or no?
Well, my cat that my wife picked up years ago, they had babies outside without permission, so.
Oh, okay. They got to get some sort of like baby immigrant card, is it? Or what?
She done had like 12 litters. I'm like, God damn, ain't you tired of
spitting? Oh my God!
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah.
Damn. That fucking cat getting more ass than a donkey.
She's literally a baby factory. She like spits like 5 out. She goes like a couple months, and then she's pregnant again. I'm like, God damn you, hoe!
Dang.
She's been around the whole yard. That one.
Everybody's got that. No one knows what her milkshake tastes like.
We just got 2 cats there about 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. So yeah, two little orange ones. I don't know if I posted pictures on my Twitter, but yeah, they're a handful. They're lots of energy, that's for sure. So
honestly, Doof, I spend a lot of time playing my arcade one-up machine, my modded one. Like if I'm tired and don't feel like jumping online on Xbox or even PlayStation, I'm in here normally playing like the modded arcade one-up machine or the Turtles one.
Gotcha. Cray Simmons, what's happening, man? Cray's into chat. He can't stay long, but that's okay, man. Like I said, 1 minute of Cray is better than no minutes of Cray. So glad you could be here, brother. Let's dive into some topics. Like I said, we got a few good ones tonight, a few juicy ones to start out with. So just let me get over there and pull up the old list of Rooney. And we're going to start off with one that's a little bit surprising in a way. This game literally, quite literally kind of flown under the radar. I mean, some people were waiting for it for quite a while. Some people this game is near and dear to their hearts, especially if you're a PC enthusiast from back in the day. That is Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, we're constantly seeing, IGN, our favorite website, constantly downgrade and find any reason in the world to hate on and basically lower the scores of Xbox games. But they actually gave this game a 10 out of 10 for Microsoft Flight Simulator, which actually blew my mind. I'm thinking of all the Xbox games that finally scores a big score, it's this one. So how do you guys feel about Microsoft Flight Simulator? Obviously, it's getting great response. I'm watching Twitter, and people that are playing it are saying it's freaking nuts. The technology behind it is nuts. How do you guys feel about it? We'll start with my co-panel member, Mr. Titan Drago, baby. Are you booking your flight for Flight Simmer? What do you think about the reviews and how this may sort of, turn the tides a little bit of a lot of that negative energy that seems to come with Microsoft games?
Yeah, I can't wait for for Microsoft to announce this Asobo acquiring, man. That would be really great. That would make my day. But as far as this IGN rating, like IGN is just someone I can never see eye to eye with. Mm-hmm. To me, no game is a 10 of 10. No game is a 0 of 0. And then they go and I've pointed it out. I've gathered so many of their biased opinions, their anti-Xbox opinions. Mm-hmm. and I call him out on it.
Yo.
Oh, Sony done got Titan.
Oh no, we lost you, Titan. Your audio's gone.
I'm the king of the world. Oh, he fell off the ship.
That's it. Well, apparently he forgot to wear his parachute because he has fallen out of the plane. All right, well, we'll come back to Titan in a minute. I'm not sure what's happening with his audio. I can still hear Jago fine. Can you guys hear me and Jago? Everybody, audio's okay? Because I don't know what happened to Titan, but he seems to be AWOL here at the moment. That's it. Titan's not even allowed to be positive about the game either.
His hamster's on strike. Put your hamster back on the wheel.
Before I get to Jago, let's give a shout out to the amazing chat because we got Matt RC in the house. Chris Bay Bomb. What's happening, Chris Bay? Eternal Shaddai is here. Casket Repair. James 176. Marlesco is hanging out with us. Oh, man, I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate you guys. You're freaking fantastic. Lots of good people. Timothy Dixon still with us, and Spider-Man 356. Yeah. Oh, we lost Titan. Not sure what's going on, but he might have internet problems. There you go. Looks like it's a tag team show, Jago, and it's time to tag you in, brother. You're up.
What was the question again?
Like, how do you feel about Microsoft Flight Simulator getting these great scores? I mean, obviously, there's a connotation with Xbox, right? If it's an Xbox game, it's not getting anywhere close to a 90, no matter what. Like, I'm honestly fucking surprised when I saw this review. I almost fell out of my chair because I thought I was going to see something like, yeah, Microsoft Flight Simulator is everything you could want in a flight simulator game, but there's too much sky. It gets 7.5. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, I'll be honest, Flight Simulator ain't my jam at all, but
right.
I'm very surprised that it's getting the scores that it got, because last time I think I don't care about Metacritic. I really don't.
And you shouldn't.
I just go off, like, if I see, I know if I see a game and I want to play it, looks interesting to me, I'm gonna play it. That's how I go. Like back in the day when we would go into places and just buy a game off box art or something like that. Yeah. What was it, like a 97 or something? Maybe was it a Metacritic or whatever? I was blown away by that. Yeah. The 10 out of 10. I worked so much. I didn't know they got it. You know, who was it? You said I didn't give them a 10. I'm glad for Microsoft because they need a high scoring game because they really haven't had one. I mean, 80's not bad either, but I mean back in the day when if you had a game scoring in the 80s, man, that was fantastic. But the narrative out there is, if it don't score in the 90s, it's trash. But I'm just glad for Microsoft. It's not my jam. I mean, I'm on a PC right now, but I don't game on PC. I mean, when it comes to, it's supposed to come to Xbox, right?
That's right. Yeah, it's going to Game Pass.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try it because of course I've got Game Pass until 2032 for $1. No, I'm just kidding. 2010. No, I'll try it then. I don't think I've actually played it, or I don't know if I ever tried a flight simulator. I mean, Christ, I grew up in the day when Carmen San Diego was on fucking computers, but I don't think I ever tried one.
Well, the games, I mean, Flight Simulator's been around for a couple of decades. It's a pretty well-known title for PC enthusiasts, and it's got a loyal following. But I mean, the one thing that obviously blows everyone away with this game is Asobo, and that's another surprise. That it's Team Asobo, the people that were behind Plague Tale, right? Plague Tale. They are the developers of this game, and the graphic fidelity in this is absolutely astonishing. You can literally fly anywhere in the world in this game. Anywhere in the world. You can fly and see your own house. Now, what they're saying is that every house is rendered to your, like to perfection. Like, if you were able to get low enough to the ground, but the locations are there, and they use some sort of Bing geometry or something through the Bing search engine, like kind of like a Google Maps kind of day, right?
Yeah.
So they use data from that, and it articulates the actual landscape and the actual buildings. So it's kind of like it's sort of like, I guess, pre-rendered on the fly, pardon the pun. So it's just amazing technology behind it. I mean, that's one of the things. You go and look at the IGN review, the guy raves about how amazing this is. And you can go and visit like the Taj Mahal, the Great Wall of China. You can, like, the guy was saying because the guy reviewed it, I guess he had some time in the Air Force or something, and he remembers flying to these remote things over in like South America, like, and the actual like fucking airport, even the small shitty one, he said was actually in the game. Like it's incredible. And there's a lot of settings, but yeah, I'm kind of excited. Like the score is not the part that's getting me excited. I just think it's a really cool game, and I think it'll be amazing for me. Like, because now it's not just about playing a game, but now to be able to go see places in the world
that's cool
that you've never been to. So, like, to me, that's daunting and amazing. Stinking corpses in the chat. What's going on, Stinky?
That's honestly like the only reason I probably will play, because I've never played one. I mean, I was a console kid. I mean, I grew up in the days where you were lucky if they had computer lab and your computer had like that green and black screen back in the early Windows days. But like as soon as I got my first console, I was like, a fucking computer, you know what I'm saying? So I guess that's why I never played one. But I'm going to try it out in Game Pass. But it surprises me too, because if it's a Microsoft game, Christ Almighty, I mean, normally everybody, most people just try to pick it apart for every little thing, and it just gets shit on. And I'm glad Microsoft needs it. And I know somebody put in the chat, Forza Horizon got into the 90s. Yeah, but they haven't had many. But I'm not saying the games they've had in the 80s, like Gears or whatever, was bad. No, but everybody else says that.
Yeah,
Microsoft needs this.
Well, they do, and that's a great question, because off the air before we started the show, me and Titan were talking about this, and he's kind of saying, like, we know what's coming to Xbox. They've announced that, and that they've also had a picture today that says it's in Game Pass, which is not surprising. Question is when. My two questions are: we know it's coming to Xbox. First of all, how will this look and run on the base model Xbox One is a great question. And two, if it does eventually come out, I'm thinking and hoping they're going, now that it's actually out, right? It should be only just tweaking the code and getting it ready for console and making sure that the technical side that it can handle it, right? Because it's a big game. Apparently, like, the base game itself is over 90 something gigs. I think it's going to run you over 100, and there's a lot of loading times in for certain areas, because again, it's a massive amount of data for it to load. But what I'm thinking is, now with Halo out of the picture for this year, I can't think of a better way to launch with a game that looks very next gen, is to have that launch with the Series X come out in that month. I think for Microsoft, they need to really put the push on this and get it out for November, if you ask me. I don't know if you think that's feasible or what.
Since Halo Infinite's not launching with the console, I'm with you. I would try to push it out for like the launch too or whatever.
And Anime, I saw ads that said Xbox One. It doesn't say, like, it's going to be Series X, but I did say Xbox One and Windows 10 PC. So,
if you're still playing on a fat boy Xbox, trade that bitch in already. Christ, I've had 2 fat Xboxes, and both of those have been out of my house since like 2017 or 2016.
It's official, guys. You heard it here. Jago does not like a fat box. Okay.
No, I don't. I like a skinny medium one.
Fuck. So it's an interesting thing, but it's good to see. Like, it's a Metacritic. It shouldn't be a gauge for someone to buy the game. Basically, like, if the scores are good, at least you have a better idea of maybe whether it's worth dropping that $60 on. Obviously, if it's going to Game Pass, you don't even have to worry about that at all.
And if you guys haven't played A Plague's Tale, you need to play that game. Yeah, that game was phenomenal, dude. It wasn't Game Pass, was it, or was it not?
It still is, I do believe. Yeah, that's I bought it on sale for like $17 Canadian. Yes, a rare digital purchase for me, because I had a bitch of a time finding the disc version.
You couldn't find it physically.
No, I could find the PlayStation versions every time I walked into the store, but could never find an Xbox version. It pissed me off. But anyways, Anyway, Titan Drago is having internet troubles, guys. He's trying to get back on. Obviously, he has some kind of connection, maybe through his phone, because he's in the chat. But his internet is dropping like grandma's titties just when she gets out of the shower. So, woo!
Unplug your box, Titan. Spit on it, unplug it, and then plug it back in.
That's right. You got to tickle that box, man. You got to warm that sucker up. Oh, baby. Yeah. Woo! He's back. Oh, he's backstage. Okay, I didn't even hear the bleep. We're adding him in. Here he comes, guys.
Yeah. All right.
I didn't even.
I was saying crap backstage to myself, man.
Yeah. Well, now you can finish your thought, Titan, because until you got interrupted by the internet, who wanted to shut you down.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if I want to, man. Apparently, I hit an IGN tripwire or something.
Now Titan guys talking shit again.
Now I'm the meat in the middle. Thanks, Titan.
Yeah, you are the meat in the middle.
You've been sandwiched. Let's go.
Right now, I want to stick my dick in that big O in your logo. Yeah. Cheerios.
Yeah, so this like I want them to acquire Sobo. Do we know if Microsoft Flight Simulator is coming to Game Pass?
Yes. Yes.
Like then I
That's
don't see how we're not acquiring Sobo, right?
Isn't
Yeah.
it in PC Game Pass right now?
Because I saw, probably because I did see
You're
the
right.
picture of from
You're
Microsoft when
right.
it advertised.
It's in PC Game Pass right now.
You're right. Yep. You know what? That slipped my mind. You're right. Good catch on that. So yeah, I mean they got Plague's Tale in there right now. So they either, someone's sleeping with someone in Osobo and Microsoft, or there's a deal coming. Something like that. It's going down, right?
How they're not signed already. There's obviously this team has graphical talent, which is something that some of the Xbox studios currently lack, has been able to push the envelope. And I think A Plague's Tale looked absolutely amazing. It was right up there with a lot of the, quote unquote Sony games. And this flight simulator is like nothing I've ever seen. I mean, yeah, there are spots in the game, as you can imagine, with that amount of geometry and data that probably aren't going to look like maybe lower textures. But when you think of what's happening going on, apparently, like a lot of the main airports and stuff, and some of the main cities in this game, like are very strikingly realistic. Just go check out some of the pictures and video footage, guys, and your jaws will be on the floor. When you think about next gen games, that's one that definitely should come to mind.
It does look amazing. The pictures I've seen.
Let me ask the chat as well as you guys a question. So, do you guys give me a 1 in the chat if you guys think what we saw from Hellblade is the best thing you've ever seen graphically, or a 2 in the chat if you think Microsoft Flight Simulator is the graphical showcase to beat right now. And let me ask Noof and Jago, whoever's ready to take that on right now.
So it was 1 for Hellblade and 2 for
sir.
Ooh. Oh, well,
I mean, it's hard, ain't it? They're both crazy good.
Well,
I think it all depends on what kind of games you like. I mean, well, for one, we've seen.
Well, let's just look at the graphics alone. Just from what we've seen on the graphics alone. Let's leave gameplay out of it.
Well, we really haven't seen a true representation of Hellblade, though.
Yeah.
So I can't. Hellblade looks good, but I don't know. That's not in game. That's in engine. So you're saying show me the gameplay and Flight Simulator has showed you that, so you're going with Flight Simulator? Yeah, I have to.
Okay.
For me, just based on the graphics of the original Hellblade, I cannot see how Hellblade 2 is not going to look absolutely stunning. You know what I mean? Because the first game pushed the envelope. But there's hard to imagine because they're so different games. That's like, one is based on real world physics and stuff. But I mean, outside of flying, there isn't a lot of stuff happening. It's kind of a static game. Whereas, there's more compute happening in that game. Whereas in Hellblade 2 is you're looking at like crazy fantasy worlds and textures and weapons and and that sort of stuff. So they're both phenomenal, but they're phenomenal in different ways. It's hard to really compare. That's like comparing a carrot to a potato, So
a carrot to a potato.
Yeah, they're both vegetables, but one can go up your asshole and the other one can knock somebody's face off, right? I'm not speaking out of experience, though.
I don't know, man. Just how much lube do you got, man? How much lube do you got?
I don't know, man. I mean, like I said too, I think it all depends on the person's perspective of what type of games they like too. Because if they're not interested in Flight Simulator, they'll be like, I don't care. They're not gonna pay attention to it really. But if they love stuff like Hellblade, they're gonna be like Hellblade. Once if it comes out and it looks like that, it's gonna blow their mind and they're gonna automatically vote Hellblade. You know what I'm saying? So
let's catch up with the chat real quick. We've got Froggy T Wright in here. We got Emmanuel A1. What's up, guys? Thanks for being here. Check out the show. Eternal Shaddai is here. Whoo! I have to get back on this panel at some point in time. Good stuff. I got to get Matt Burns on this show at one point. Matt, you did a great job when you're on the Gaming Beyond the Box a few weeks back there, brother. So I got to get you on this one sometime soon as well. So good stuff. Any more thoughts though on the Flight Simulator? And do you guys think that Microsoft may sort of put a push on it to get it out in November so that at least the Xbox Series X kind of has a little bit of a showcase title, where Halo is basically now AWOL?
Well, that would be that would be the best case scenario, but nothing is. I don't think it's been announced as of yet. If it has, I've missed it. I've missed a lot of information about this Flight Simulator, but I'll be honest with that. But I just don't like, because I know they sent a lot of people over to 343 so that they can catch Halo back up, because they're $500 million in the hole and still behind somehow.
Yeah.
So that's really frustrating for me. I wish that $500 million number would have never gotten leaked or never. I wish that just wasn't even there, because that's messing with me. That's messing with a lot of people, I'm sure. Is it messing with you guys as much as it's like hurting my feelings?
Not really. I mean, I wish I'm with you. I wish it had never got revealed, because I don't care. I don't need to know how much Microsoft spent on the fucking game. Just when the game comes out, I want it to look good. Period. But
really, it doesn't matter how much it's been cost to produce, because it's going to go into Game Pass anyways, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so that kind of, that's a good point. It kind of throws that really out of the window, and it's like, all right, so we know we're making this much on Game Pass. Well, all right, so how much are we going to make from the sales for the PC on it or whatever we?
Yeah. Okay, guys, well, good stuff. Let's move this along. 34 in, and we basically haven't even got out of the first topic, so we are definitely cruising for a bruising. Good stuff, guys, tonight. For those of you wondering, yes, Primal Eve could not make it. She is not feeling too well, so hopefully she's back and ready to go next week. It was a little too much sausage for her in here tonight, I guess. I don't know, but there's never enough sausage for Primal, she would say. But let's get into the next topic of the evening, and so there's been a few, things flying around, guys. I'm sure, unless you've been living on the rock the last few days and haven't been following, that there's some, stipulation that the Xbox Series X is going to drop at $599. Based on the tech that we know is inside the box, that doesn't sound completely unrealistic. But some people are making this theory up based on, one, insider leaks, apparently, and two, there was a Monster Energy drink, I think it is, contest or something that's for Halo Infinite, and apparently if you do the math on the prize, it says giving away what's the Xbox Series X consoles, and the total value, and if you divide that by the number or whatever, it comes out to being like $599. So we know a lot of times places use placeholders and they use loose numbers until they've officially announced it, but it wouldn't completely surprise. Oh, did we lose Titan again?
Yes, we lost Titan again.
We lost Titan again. All right, just getting into the juicy stuff. So Jago, I mean, how do you feel if that is the case? Would it completely disappoint you? Do you think Microsoft? I mean, they don't want to lose money on the console, but at the same time, can they afford to launch at $599 and expect this unit to come out and be at least a very strong launch? Because I think no matter if they want to sell this console or not, or if they're maybe not invested in it as much as Sony is with PS5, but they still need a strong launch, because it's all about perception. And of course, the more these consoles sell and sell well, the more games are likely to sell, more people buying Game Pass. So how do you feel about a potential $599 price point? Would you still buy it? Do you think it's a bad shot? What's your take on it?
Personally, for me, yeah, I'd still buy it. Because I got crap to trade in, Noof. I'm like you trade shit in, But $599 with them losing Halo Infinite day one. I don't know how well. I mean, even if they put Flight Simulator in there, like day one, whatever on the Xbox,
right.
I just, that's more niche. Like Halo Infinite has a wider audience, and I don't know that even if they had Flight Simulator in there day one, I don't know that at $599 that's going to drive.
It's certainly not an impulse buy, that's for sure.
No.
$599 is a lot. That's $600 US. That's equivalent of probably about $800 here in Canada, which is a lot of Donero up here. Mm-hmm. So I am hoping, like Anime says, that it's a placeholder, which I think they're going to come in competitive. My thought is that Microsoft comes in at $499 on the Series X and goes $299 on the Series S, and because I just don't see them bringing in a console and being more expensive than the Xbox One X, because I think they know full well that anything other than $499 is going to be it's going to be a hard, well, not to the hardcore guys, because you'd buy it, I'd probably buy it, but then to the average consumer, and again, that's the other, and that's where the tricky part of this equation gets, because they do have the other console, the S, and then they're going to try to reflect the prices to sort of match up with Sony, because we don't know what the PlayStation 5 prices are yet, and we know that they've got the digital one, right? So that's going to be the trick here, is how they balance that, and we know that one is waiting for the other to kind of, figure out what's going on there.
It's just funny. People will fucking spend $1,500 on a Samsung. What's that new phone? Samsung Note 20, and or any of the smart, like the latest and greatest smartphones. But you ask them to spend $500 or $600 on a console, which you can do more than just play games on. They're like, oh no, that's too much. I'm like, are you fucking serious? God, get out of here. Like I said, I would still buy it, but I don't think let's be honest. Microsoft, they could afford to take it if they sold it for fucking. If they're going to sell it for $600, I don't think that they're making profit on it at that point.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to do that because we all know they've said they wanted to like basically beat Sony in price. I don't think as much shit as they got about the $500. I don't think they're going to come out. I think it's going to be $499 max, and like the Lockhart $299 because they've already said they wanted to beat Sony in price and power. I don't think that's changed just because COVID or whatever and all the stresses they're having, and they've got. I don't know. We've heard that Game Pass is going to be in the box for a couple months, and what makes them money is software, not hardware. So and if it's like a drug dealer. You give somebody a taste of crack one time, some people don't get hooked and keep going back. So the Game Pass is in the box. They're like, holy shit, all these games in here. They'll just re-up and for a year or two and whatever, and they'll make their money back that way. I think they'll. Right. I said this a while back when we were doing Game Doses again. I don't know what happened there, but I said that Sony would probably their digital, and I could be wrong, but their digital edition would be $600. That was just my thinking.
The difference in Sony is their system, their digital is it's still the PS5. It just doesn't have the disc drive, so that's not going to be like a $200 or $300 differential there. You know what I mean? Like you're probably looking at maybe $100 at the most. Yep. So they might go $499, $399. I don't know where their wiggle room is. But they might not need the wiggle room, because I honestly think no matter what Sony decides to charge, that they're going to have a stronger sales out of the gate than Xbox.
Oh, of course they are, because they're more of a worldwide brand than Xbox is. There's a lot of people that only have ever owned a PlayStation just because their parents or whatever had a PlayStation growing up, and
Well, I think there's more to it than that, though. I also think it's because Sony's given the impression or perception to its fans that if you want to play our latest and greatest, you're going to need a PS5, whereas Microsoft messaged a little all over the board, because they're like, well, as long as you want to play our games, you don't necessarily need a Series X. You can just still play on your Xbox One.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
So because that's like me, I'm not buying the Series X this year, because as far as I'm concerned, between PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, this is the worst next gen launch I have ever seen in my life, because the messaging is fucked up from both parties. We don't know really what's going on. Nobody's come out and made it clear what these consoles can do. Normally by the end of July and after E3, we know the price, we know what they're capable of. Yep. We know what games are going to launch within that 30 to 60 day window. Yep. And we don't know shit other than like third parties trying to carry the load. And I'm like, well, I'm not generally buying an Xbox or a PlayStation for third party crap. I'm buying it for your games. And so far, I'm not seeing much of a launch lineup out of anybody.
Well, there's a lot of Xbox fans out there, and Titan may feel this way too. I'm going to get the Xbox Series X day one, because it's going to improve all your older games. Like it's going to add ray tracing or whatever. I can't remember. I can't keep up with shit. Right. But it's going to make all the older games look and run better, and add things to them that the older games didn't have. That blows my fucking mind. And if you're a PC guy, you want the latest and greatest, you always upgrade to the next graphics card or blah, 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 blah. I'm like that with consoles. I just love new tech. You know what I'm saying? Totally. So, I mean, I'm going to get it for that reason. And I'll go back and play. Like, I might go back and finish Control, that shitty ass game. We'll get started with that. But just I want to see how control looks. You know, if the map is maybe the Xbox Series S can fix the fucking mapping control.
We're going to tighten away on this in a second, but let's catch up with the chat again because we got some new people up in the house. Let's give a shout out to Callie Rex. What's up, brother? James Durden is in the house here as well. UK Daz still hanging out with us. I know it's late in his neck of the woods. Hope you're recovering well, Dazzy. Get wetter. Crazy Greek Dude is with us here. Anime Heaven, Eternal Shaddai, Emmanuel A1, Cyber Gunter, Infinite. Oh, Wilmy Hood is here. Wilmy, what's going on, brother? I meant to give you a shout out earlier, but just been scrolling along. So yes, the good, amazing Wilmy Hood has blessed us with his presence. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Z Black Rider is in the house. Yeah, so we got some great cast here, guys. Thanks so much for being here. So Titan, how do you feel about a potential $599 Xbox Series X? Do you think this is a DOA death sentence for this console, or do you think it's feasible and they can make it work? What's your take?
Oh, there's a lot to talk about here. So
come on, get that voice up. Let's go, Titan, let's do it.
Well, I want to start off slow on this one because if you remember back in the day, Noof, when we were on another podcast together, that was my original guesstimate for the Xbox Series X. I said this was how long ago? At least a year ago. Like a year ago, I said A year ago, I said $600. This is crazy. And I said PlayStation 5 would be $500. I don't think that's going to be the case today. I do think they're both going to be released at $500. I think people see any kind of information and just want to blow it out of goddamn proportion as soon as possible and make a narrative out of it, whether it be good or, I can't stand that, man. Just calm down with this narrative trash, because most narratives are getting destroyed, especially on the PlayStation side. Yeah. Like you see that hip hop gamer dude, that dude's gotten this. I've seen videos, live videos about this dude getting destroyed over and over and over again. It's like, how do you have followers at this point? If I followed you, Noof, and you were wrong 90% of the time, and you made me, and I reverberated things that you said, I would no longer follow you. Why would I follow you? You're making me look like a clown. You're making me look like a fool.
Because you like staring at my butt.
And it just drives me nuts, because these it's to that point where these people are just sheep herders. They're digital sheep herders at this point. It's like you say something that they just want to hear and they want to follow you. It's sad. I can't stand that about, like, let's bring the common back to sense.
Yes,
back.
Indeed.
He said it.
No, you're right. There's a lot of sheep herders and a lot of lemmings in the community, that's for sure. They believe anything they hear. They don't think logically. There's no doubt about that. Let's give a big shout out to Emmanuel A1, who drops $3 in the super chat. He says, love the content, Noof. Hopefully less Xbox slander. Now, I don't know if he means we've been slandering the Xbox in the show, or he's just hoping,
that's not what he
he's just hoping overall. He won't hear us bashing Xbox. Brother, I'll be the first guy to give Xbox as much praise as possible if and when they do stuff. I'm an Xbox lover. I'm a major Gears of War fan. I love Gears 4. I love Gears 5.
No, he's talking about the general public, man.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of podcasts have certainly taken Xbox and torched it. We've had a lot of people that have kind of switched their views on particular consoles for whatever reason. I am tried and true. Everybody knows with Noof Nukem, guys, and much like Jago, we stay tried and true. Like, me and Jago are still part of the old school that believes in physical games, and like people keep saying to me, Noof, you still haven't switched, and I'm like, no, because I told you, I stick to my guns. I have that. I feel that way. I still feel that way, and I'm going to fucking feel that way until eventually that option is no longer there, and then I'll speak with my wallet and decide which company represents my options the best, whoever it might be. So
Noof, you do stick to your guns too, because you were one of the few people I remember when Black Ops or Blackout came out and it didn't have a campaign. I remember you were one of the few people saying, I'm not going to buy it, doesn't have a campaign. I really like the campaign, this and that. And you were one of the few people that followed through with that.
I never bought it either, because it didn't have a campaign. And I bought every Call of Duty since I mean, for a long time now, and I was like, fuck that shit, ain't got no campaign.
I think Treyarch learned for their lesson, because the next game, they kind of Call of Duty 2020, they kind of
And didn't they charge $60 for the damn thing? Yeah, fuck that.
Yes. Shout out to Anime Heaven in the chat, who's also with us on the physical collecting. It's just something that we love. Like, that's how it goes. And yes, physical collecting has done me well because it allows me to continue my crazy trend of newfonomics, where I want a console, I trade in my old console, and 3 months later, I kind of regret getting rid of old console, trade in new console, get the old console, and cycling back and forth. I've had 3 Switches now. I've had about I'm on 5th PlayStation 4, I think. All because of newfonomics, guys. It's weird, but it works.
And that's why I said earlier, I'm like, even if it's a fucking Xbox Series X, it's fucking $600. I've got something to trade in on it.
No, that's right. My Xbox One X though is not going anywhere. It's a Gears limited edition. That one's with me for life, baby. That's the coolest custom console that I've certainly ever owned, and that's staying.
Look, like I've got the Gears 4 Collector's Edition console, and I've got the Scorpio. I love Gears, but since the Gears 4 is a 1S, that bitch is out of here.
If you said earlier that the next gen has like the worst start in gaming history or whatever, something along the lines of that, right? Yeah. You mentioned the messaging. I don't know about I don't know if I agree with you on the messaging part. I kind of like the messaging. I think I'm getting that they're the most balanced systems.
Yeah.
But traditionally, though, just think about the last few launches, whether it's the original Xbox or the Xbox 360 or even the Xbox One. Like, Xbox One had a phenomenal launch line. You had Dead Rising 3, you had Forza 5, you had Rise, Son of Rome. There was 5 or 6 games right out of the box that you went, wow, I want to have that, right? And you had games that were also like, wow, look at the visuals on. Like, Rise, Son of Rome still blows my mind to this day. Forza 5 still holds up and looks great. There's a lot of great. Dead Rising 3 is probably the best Dead Rising in the series. Like, where are those games now for this console?
I could throw 4 at you right now.
There's no Forza, there's no Halo, there's no Gears, there's none of the major franchises.
Launch lineups.
We don't even have Fable.
Soon after launch. Yeah. So there's about 4, like soon. Well, we don't even know. So that is the point where you're right. We don't know when they're coming out, but there's a good number of titles that I'm like, wow, when that comes out, that's a must-have, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the positive side of it. I see where you're coming from, but that's not messaging. That's the launch lineup. That's a kind of a different monster, if you will. It's a different beast. So, but the messaging, though, for both consoles, I
said both,
yeah, for the PlayStation and the next Xbox, they're both. I really like it. Everyone's got so many good things to say about PlayStation's SSD, and when their first party can actually take advantage of that, that's going to be something to behold, right?
And the only people that's going to take advantage of that for the most part is going to be first party.
Yeah, and we know that because of the messaging, right?
Yeah.
From the community and from what PlayStation has said about it. So I like the messaging on both these consoles. I really do. I can't agree with. I love that. Now the launch lineups. Okay, you may have one on this one on the launch lineups.
Yeah, so like when you think of either console right now, you say you're buying them tomorrow. What's the first game you plan to buy for it? Especially first party wise. What? I mean, for PS5, it's probably the Spider-Man game, which people are saying is a DLC, but I don't give a shit what it is. It's Spider-Man, and I want it. And if I can only play it on PS5, that's cool with me. That game is amazing. So.
That is literally the only game that I know of.
What else? Because we don't know if Ratchet and Clank is going to be, but Ratchet and Clank would be definitely one. They haven't said, but I would definitely buy it day one if it was there. Right? So outside of that, I don't know.
Both companies, in my opinion, they know this, right? That we know the virus is out there. And that's the main part. Schools shutting down, all kinds of things shut down, social distancing, this and that. We've heard it all a million times. But both companies have maneuvered around that really, really well, I think.
I'm gonna say this right now. That third-party showcase they had back in May, there was a lot of games. We don't know if they're launch titles. There's a lot of games that I actually saw that really interested me, like Bright Memory Infinite. That game, I thought that was fucking Crisis. I was like, holy shit!
Yeah.
I'm buying that day one. There was like chorus, that girl with the AI ship or whatever.
Yeah.
That looked amazing. That one game that like is looks like Aliens. I can't remember the name of it. That looked cool as shit. There were some interesting looking titles that really like. I was like, I'm into that. Then that I think a lot of people would be into, but they just don't have the status that makes you go, that's day one, because they've already played the title before.
Right.
But there's a lot of, and I saw more. This is not a fanboy thing. I've seen more from Xbox third party showcase in May. Their showcase a couple weeks ago from Xbox that would make me buy the Xbox Series X day one than I have over PlayStation. And I love PlayStation. I love PlayStation VR. I've had a PlayStation since PlayStation 1. I've had them every day, every generation, day one. I mean, what am I getting excited about? Blowing into a fucking controller?
Don't get me started.
Anime Heavens, as you're thinking scoring, I'm like, yes,
scoring, yeah.
That Xbox players will probably be playing scoring, while PlayStation players will probably be watching porn.
And I'm not trying to shit on fucking PlayStation because I have one. I mean, the PlayStation 4 Pro was a fucking joke. That's why I never bought it. I've had the PlayStation 4 since like 2014. I love the PlayStation stuff.
What, you didn't want to sneak peek into PlayStation Flight Simulator?
No.
You blow on the controller to make the ship fly? Everybody's hyperventilating in their house, yeah.
I mean, honestly, and people are going to shit and say, yeah, that's all third party, it's all AA, but there was some interest. We've seen more interesting looking games from Xbox than what we've seen from PlayStation. I'm going to be honest, I've watched all the goddamn showcases. Don't even add me with that shit. I'm sorry.
For sure. It's just the launch lineup. And to go back to the maneuvering, because both companies, during launch, right? Yeah. And that's when these consoles launch. You got PlayStation buying timed exclusivity to cover up their poor launch lineup. It's a strategy, and it we'll see if it works out for them. But but that's their maneuver towards this. Right. And then you got Xbox with their spectacular, back compat and their free updates and they're advancing it to next gen, automatically. So that's their maneuver, and both of those are
and I commend Microsoft on that. But for me personally, that does nothing for me. Like when I invest in a new console, I'm investing in new games. So I don't really give a rat's dink if my old games are back and pat or not. Like I'm planning to keep my old consoles. So, so that's the way I feel. I love the fact they're doing it. I think it's going to be great for a lot of people, but it's not a major selling thing for me. Like, so PlayStation 4 or 5 comes out tomorrow and says, we're not one of our old games is going to run on PS5. You know what? I'm fine with that. I really have I have no issues with that at all. Let's quick shout out to the chat because I heard the salt shaker alarm go off. Mr. Saltiest Gaming is in the house. We got Captain Crunch here. I knew I heard something crunchy in the house. What's going on, brother? Jay Slayer J Infinite is here. Emmanuel A1, and just to touch on your thing earlier, Emmanuel, it's good to hear people have been telling me that Noof has been hating on Xbox on Twitter. Well, I don't know where you're hearing that's from, brother, but
they're just taking words the wrong way. It's the
only time I took a lot of shit on Twitter recently for Xbox was after the show because I was highly disappointed, and I still gave the show an 8 out of 10. But the way people misinterpreted what I was saying was like I hated Xbox and I hated the show, and it was anything but that. It was just the way people took it and ran with it. I do not hate Xbox. I did not hate their show. I was disappointed, mostly with Halo because that was his flagship. But outside of that, I thought it was solid. I thought they came pretty well. Like I said, they got an incredible system. Game Pass is killing it. There's a lot of reasons to like and love Xbox right now. A lot of great stuff coming down the pipe, and I'm pretty sure eventually Microsoft will deliver. We just got to hang in there a bit longer. I know people are tired of it. I'm tired of it too, but I'm still staying in the Xbox ecosystem. I'm going to buy an X at some point, maybe just not this year. That doesn't mean I don't like Xbox because I'm not buying it this year. I just don't feel I need to upgrade right away.
You don't have to, Noof. That's what Microsoft is doing for you.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole beauty right now. A lot of the games are still going to run on the Xbox One X and still run fairly well. So there you go.
There's a few. Yeah, well, there's a few different ways you can go about this whole thing, right? You could say, all right, the show, in my opinion, wasn't it was kind of disappointing. I think most of us, even diehard Xbox fans, were disappointed with what we saw in Halo. There'll be some, and that's a different way. That's just how you look at it, right? You could look at the bright side of things and say, man, that gameplay looks amazing. It was it's not up to date. They're gonna work on it. It's going to improve. So there's a lot of positive ways you can look at it, right? And then there's the negative ways you can look at it, right? Like the $500 million number, and don't we think it should look better at this point? And then you got the memes, and then there's the whole extremist fanboy narratives you can go with, which obviously go on from there. So it just depends. Go ahead.
Was I the only one that I saw that? Like, I'm not a PC guy. I don't say, oh my God, there's clouds popping in and out, and mountains are. I'm like, shut the fuck up. God damn it.
You were telling me to shut up right there because I was like, oh my God, those clouds.
It's been 5 years since we've had a Halo game. Other than the pilot looking like, he was dead and reanimated. I was like, Chief looks amazing. I was like, it's got a grappling hook. I'm a Titanfall fan. Let's go, baby. The gameplay was awesome.
He said dead and reanimated. I'm dead and reanimated.
If Halo 5 came out in November still and it still looked like the way it did, I'd still buy it because it's Halo and I'm pretty sure it's going to be amazing from a story perspective, right? I mean, heck, a lot of us marry women that are fantastic looking when we get married, and 20 years later they're kind of ugly and fat. We don't get divorced right away because we love them for different reasons, right? So
my mom told me, this is a true story. My mom told me at 12 years old, and I didn't understand it then. She says, when you get older, she's like, when you decide to get married, she says, marry one that's skinny and hot. Mm-hmm. And I was like, why? She said, because they only get uglier and fatter when they get older. I was like, holy shit! I didn't know that. And that's a true story.
It rarely goes the opposite direction, right? From like massive to like really, smoking hot, right?
Yeah, she's 25 and she's fucking complete trash, and she's 50 and she's fucking hot. No, it don't.
Only way my chick's gonna be hot at this point is when I put a fucking buffalo chicken Dorito on her face.
No, I mean, I just this whole generation, man. It's just everything, the COVID and everything. Yeah, man.
It's crazy.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the poppin', because with next gen consoles. That's like the main thing. I'm a huge. If anyone that knows me knows that I'm a huge battle royale. I'm pro battle royale and everything that could spawn from it. This and that. When I'm playing Call of Duty, the pop-in is like, it's so annoying because I'm the type of player, when I'm looking at my screen, I'm looking for movement. I look at the broad screen and look for movement. And then when I see all this, like, you could look at it, you can just be looking straight. And then if you move your aim just a tad to the right, I hit the right trigger, or I push right a little bit. There's there's like automatic pop in those trees, like re-pop in kind of. Yeah. But now with me, these next gen consoles have to get rid of that. I don't think there's any reason why they can't get rid of that with the SSDs and all the hype behind these SSDs. That crap better be gone. That's why for me personally, that Halo showcase really hurt my feelings, is because of that popping. I know you're telling me to STFU right now, Jago.
Don't you realize how many years the console generation we've dealt with fucking mountains popping in? I'm used to it, damn it.
You're right, but you're right.
Remember back in the PlayStation and Sega Saturn days when everything fucking popped in?
Yeah. I mean, I know where Titan's coming from with the power of these systems. We shouldn't have it, but let's be fucking honest. We're still going to have it in some shape, form, or fashion in game.
Yeah. That crap better be minimized, because that crap better be next to gone, because we've just like you said, we've had it all the time, right?
We have,
but we've never had an SSD in a console.
No, we haven't. But I still think we're gonna get it. We're still gonna get somewhere. And if you're thinking you're buying these next gen consoles and you're not gonna see some kind of pop in or something that we've not.
I'll tell you what. All right. I'll tell you what. I'll take this. Cut out 90% of it, and I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Now, 90%.
If I could turn to the right in Call of Duty and not see 10 different trees turning shapes, all right, I'll be happy.
Look, the tree disappeared. There's a guy hiding behind it.
Oh, look, the dong slider finally worked on Conan. Yeah, so like and back just the whole pricing thing about the $5.99. Well, here's the thing, and here's the intangible here. This is the question mark, right? We know that it's not just about the console. Microsoft is going to make up some serious dough on those damn little memory card fucking cartridges or whatever. Yeah. That's going to be the nail right there that people aren't even going to realize, because most of us are going to need at least one, if not two of those fuckers.
I'd already plan on buying one day
because that less than a terabyte hard drive we're going to get on the solid state, guys. We know how long that's going to last. That's going to last longer than a 13-year-old virgin with a fucking hooker. Like that's out, you know.
Well, there's a couple unknowns about that. There's the supposed, dealer's gone into it on a couple videos, but he hasn't been exactly clear to me. At least maybe I didn't listen closely enough. Maybe I was doing something else while I was listening to his videos. But there's the a couple different there's a couple different things that are supposed to reduce the download sizes with the upscaling or the texture. It was the machine learning, and you basically download a low res image and the machine learning makes it high res, like basically streams it kind of thing.
Right.
So I can't wait to see that in action, if that's a thing or not. So that could be something that could really help us out.
Definitely.
But yeah, you're right. 1 terabyte. When I saw these, because this console's coming out, is 1 terabyte. That did hurt my feelings.
One thing I hope also changes this gen as well, when we're doing updates for games, that they overwrite the old files and not go on top of them, because constantly losing hard drive space for 30 to 40 gigabyte updates is getting really annoying.
That's stupid.
You know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. They're not overwriting the entire game. They're going on top of the game. They just keep making the file sizes bigger.
Emmanuel says sampler feedback streaming. And Jay Slayer J had a good question. He said, "Do you guys think the popping would have been there if it was actually running on a Series X with the velocity architecture?"
Good point. Yeah,
that's a good point, because they did say it was running on a PC.
Yeah, very good point.
All right, well, we're going to get into the next topic in just a second. I think we've kind of hit this one on all heads right now. Starbuck United is in the chat. What is going on? Thank you, and howdy to you. Hope you're having a good time here hanging out with all of us douche hats. And Dave,
real quick, I love topics that you can kind of hit from all angles like that, though, and then it spawns different, conversations. I love topics like that. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you never have to be sorry, man. You're a co-panel member. You can jump in anytime. The pool's open.
Nerd put out his pants in the pool. Jump in.
Somebody's tugging me to the bottom, and it's not my foot. What's going on? Oh, baby. T-Rock 40, what is happening, man? Thanks for being here. So let's get into the next topic, and let's say the Avengers beta. A lot of people have had a chance to go and play this one. I'm hearing a lot of mixed results. I posted my thoughts after playing it, and I wasn't as impressed as I know Jago is. So I will leave my thoughts for a minute here. But if you guys play, same thing, and this question goes out to the chat. Want to hear your thoughts. What did you think of it? If you played the Avengers beta and you loved it and plan to buy the game, give us a 1. If you definitely could forget about it, give us a 2. We'll start with our guest on this one, because I know he's played it and I know he seems to be enjoying it. Jago, how did you feel about the Avengers beta? Is it still a day one purchase for you, sir?
Well, I've got the collector's edition on Xbox, pre-ordered. So yeah,
nice.
This is a kind of like a looter shooter almost,
right?
And don't even get me started with Destiny, because I've bought both of those and I dropped both of them like a bad fucking habit really quick.
Mm-hmm.
I beat Destiny 2 because they had a campaign, and I'm trying to go around. It just wasn't my thing. So I haven't been big on those type of games anyway. But I love superheroes. I always have as a kid. I read comics. Didn't collect them, but I read comics as a kid, and and I've been watching I've watched superhero movies. I've played all the superhero games growing up. This is actually one of the coolest superhero games I've seen I think I've ever played ever. There's like the destruction in it that I've seen. Yeah, it's not like a huge amount of destruction, but the destruction. I don't know, man. I just it's like a looter shooter beat 'em up, and we all grew up with like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Final Fight, games like that. It's the easiest way. I was telling somebody the other night. That's the easiest way for me to. I was telling Jay, graphic guy, you all know him. I was like, Jay, I was like, you love beat 'em ups. I was like, you love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Time or Teenage Mutant Turtles, Final Fight, all those Streets Rage. I said you would love this game. Yes, there is armor that you can equip. And he's like, yeah. That's Flamish. He's a new guy on Retro Renegade. Yep. He's like, but you can't see it. It's like I don't care. It's still
but he talks a little bit like this, right?
Yeah. Like, but it still counts. It still counts in like progressing your character, making him stronger. I was like, this is a with gear, beat 'em up with superheroes. And I don't give a fuck about Spider-Man, and I don't care. Yeah. I'm not changing. But I was like, man, it's fun. I mean, it is. Yes, there is some like repetitive shit, but with all these, a lot of these games like this, you run into that. But I don't know, man. Just like you tried it, you said it kind of wasn't really for you. Just try the beta this weekend. Yeah. It's free for everybody. PlayStation, it was free last week on PlayStation. It's free for everybody this weekend. Try it. And if you don't like it, you don't buy it. But
I want to go back and play it again. Don't worry. And sorry about the other night, by the way. Your audio was I don't know what the fuck was going on, but I couldn't hear you half the time. So
yeah, my internet was being stupid. Yeah, I don't know. No, it's okay. Well, if you
had that Titan internet, huh?
Hard rivals.
He bored your passcode. He's got out-of-state Wi-Fi.
And no, man, and you got to remember all the characters coming, like Hawkeye's coming. All the characters coming. Like after launch are free.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just, and it's 4-player co-op. I mean, come on. I mean, and we haven't seen, that beta is huge. And but we still haven't seen, like, nowhere, according to those Avengers things, that came, the round tables, we haven't seen anywhere close to the whole game. Yeah. And I can tell you, I played with Captain America. You play with him on the bridge. That's the only time you get to play with him and Thor. And then Captain America is still, since I played the beta, probably my favorite character so far to play with. He's a badass.
Well, we're going to get to Titan's opinion on this, but let's give a shout out again to the chat. We got over 51 amazing people watching tonight. Z Black Rado, what's going on, brother? Froggy T. Wright, Spider-Man 356 still hanging out with us. Got a newcomer, at least I don't recognize in the chat, Andre Avila. And we got a few numbers on that question. So we have, obviously, Jago gives it a 1. Timothy Dixon gives it 2. Andre give it a 1. Spider-Man gave the beta, said it was good. Froggy T. Wright gives it a 2. We get Spider-Man with the 1. So there's quite a bit of 1s and an odd few 2s in there, indeed. So, Jago, you mentioned about the co-op, which is definitely one of the reasons I am kind of excited because, I mean, we don't get a lot of great co-op games, and we certainly don't have a lot of superhero-based co-op games out there. I mean, when you think of them, most of the time we play a superhero game, it's like, what, single player?
Exactly.
A linear story, single player. You finish it, you beat it. Like the Batman Arkham games are amazing, but can you imagine how much better
games?
Yeah, but can you imagine how good the next Batman game would be if you could actually say play as Robin, or you could play as Batman and Catwoman at the same time? That would be fucking nuts.
And I'm gonna say this too because I didn't say it. The more you open up the skill trees for all the superheroes, the more things you unlock, the more fun they become.
Right.
And I mean, like I was playing as the Hulk. And I unlocked a few things on the skill tree, and it made him 10 times better. Like, holy shit.
So, Titan, how about you? How do you feel about the Avengers beta? Did you get to play it? Are you a Thor whore? How do you feel, man?
I'm a Thor whore.
Sit down and hammer up your ass.
You know, it's funny. Any Smite players out there, know that Smite added a skin to Thor where he's in a white wedding dress. Yeah. I don't know what they were thinking with that one, man. But anyways, I'm not too impressed with the gameplay I've seen of it. But Jago's right. We haven't seen much. No. It's the thing is, for me, it's really hard to balance superhero games because everyone's got varying opinions. It's hard to balance how much rape or how hard you think you should rape as Thor or the Hulk. You know, your opinion varying to mine. So, as a developer, like as the Hulk, I should punch this one dude one time and he should be out. You know, he's a minion or whatever. You know, and like there's all kinds of things like that. So. It's really hard to judge this game. So I guess I'm just gonna have to go with like, all right, it's co-op. Good. Because something like this needs that, really, in my opinion, because that might help out with that and the story. So if the balancing is an issue, then the story really has to come into play, and it's really got to back up why either it's so hard to kill these guys or it's so easy to kill these guys, however it may be. Yeah. So I mean, they've got you know, when you take on a game like this, like that's why I love the old school Superman game where you know. The city was the life bar of health. You kind of got to take it out of the superheroes' hands. They did that really well. So Jago, how much, like in the beta, because I know nothing about this beta really, just from what I've only seen gameplay of it. I've only seen the minimal the skill minimal I've only seen minimal screenshots of the upgrade trees, you know. Yeah. So you mentioned one thing about the upgrades, right? And you said it made you completely Did it make you completely dominant, or did it just explain more? I want to hear more about that.
When you start off as the Hulk, like I said, it's like a beat 'em up. Basically. Somebody was asking me, I don't remember exactly. I asked him on Twitter, and I couldn't remember. I was late and I didn't answer him. It's like a beat 'em up, but. You have basic moves like if you ever play Hulk Ultimate Destruction back on the original Xbox, kind of felt that way to me. Hulk did to start with, but then he didn't really feel Hulkish. He kind of felt like the Gray Hulk or and but then you start opening up these. You open up because you get skill points or whatever, and then you start opening up more things on these skill trees, and then he starts to feel like the Hulk, because I was dying because these fuckers, I put it on normal or hard. You get like three times to be knocked down and you're down. You have to restart a certain level because your friends or your AI companions can get you back up. But until I got to the point where I was opening up these more abilities on these skill trees, I was like, man, Hulk shouldn't be going down like this. But then when I started equipping Hulk with the more things I unlocked, I was like, now. I mean, it's like he's got this ground pound moves I unlocked that he hits the ground like 6 times, and anywhere close to that radius, it blows people back. Anybody back, like complete, like anybody who's around it. It could be 5 guys, could be 15, knocks them way back, and you feel like the fucking Hulk.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what about the skill tree? How, do you think that's in depth enough?
I don't know. From what I've seen, and I don't know if I've seen the whole depth of it, but from what I've seen, there's a decent amount there, and there's multiple, like 3 or 4 different things you can unlock. But I don't know if that's the whole thing or they're hiding like half of it for the beta. Gotcha. But if you unlock, and I didn't unlock half of the stuff, but if you unlock everything that they showed me in the beta, and that's all there is, holy shit! But by the time you unlock everything that they showed me, you should be badass, like really badass for every character.
And that's the key. Like I said, I played it, and the first thing I'm going to say is the graphics. Okay, the graphics I thought looked amazing. I could care less that the characters don't sound and look exactly like the movie counterparts. I mean, they're based loosely on the movie counterparts, which is cool because I like the look of the way the Avengers looked, right? As far as the Spider-Man deal goes, it's not a deal breaker for me. I love Spider-Man. I'd be great. Obviously, if I really want to play as him that bad, I can get both versions. You know what I mean? But I'm likely to buy it on Xbox because that's where most of my friends are, and that's where I want to play. Now, like I said, game mechanics wise, the game felt fine. I had no issues. To me, it looked like a better looking version of Marvel Avengers Ultimate Alliance, right? But maybe not quite as monotonous as that game, because that one was a bit more straightforward. This one has a little bit more complexity to the leveling up system and the skill trees. But that was part of the disappointment. And again, I didn't probably play it long enough, but playing as the Hulk, like Iron Man was fine. I actually liked the Black Widow, like from after the bridge part. I thought she handled really cool. I liked her. When I got to the Hulk was when I felt the biggest sense of letdown. Because again, like you mentioned, you get this Hulk. We all know Hulk is one of the strongest Avengers and superheroes out there, and he should be destroying these guys. There shouldn't be like punching at a little shithead with a shield 10 freaking times. Like he should be like kind of like one or two punches destroying. Like that's what takes me out of like sort of disbelief. Because like real AI, say if you're like a little human, if you're a little human and you're a normal human per se, are you gonna run up to a fucking Hulk and try to get in his face?
No.
Like he's not gonna take bullets.
You're not gonna box.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk up to the Hulk and go toe to toe with the friggin' monster to destroy me one hit. Like that's stupid, It's kind of like those times when Superman hits a regular person and doesn't kill him. I'm like, the dude's so fucking strong. If he legitimately punched anyone who wanted to destroy him, he would. So it kind of takes me out of it. Like to me, like remember that Hulk, Jago, and I think you posted a picture of Ultimate Destruction on the Xbox. That was fucking nuts. I love that. You were like, you literally felt like a beast and destroying everything.
Yep, knock down buildings and all kind of shit, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad that Spider-Man said in the chat he gets more powerful. So I'm not going to rule the game out on that. Like I need to play it like this, and I'm probably going to buy it. I just don't think it convinced me enough that it's a day one. I might wait till it goes on sale and see how the content rolls, and then pick it up. And I'm sure by then none of my friends will be playing it, and I'll be like, I should have bought this piece of shit.
And like, look, at the end of the day, news, you got to look at it like this: if we bought it, right? The games are games, comics are comics. Yeah. If we bought this and you were going around with every superhero like the Hulk or Superman and you were one punching people, then you'd have motherfuckers going around with, God damn, this game's too fucking easy.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just running.
I'm running right through. I know I'm Hulk, but there's no challenge here.
Right.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to balance a superhero. So they get damned if they do and damned if they don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
yeah, you got a great point. Like I said, and I'll play it. I do love the graphics. That chick, what the fuck is her name? Marvel. She's not Captain Marvel. She's something else.
Miss Marvel. She's crazy. She is nuts. She can literally grow like 10 times or 20 times her size and step on these motherfuckers. Yeah. She dropped a rock elbow. I put it on Twitter. She did the elbow drop from the rock on this big ass mechanical robot thing. I was like, holy shit.
From all the clips that I've watched, she looked more powerful than the Hulk. Maybe that's
She feels like Spider-Man because she's like what's the Fantastic Four? What's his name?
Captain Stretch or whatever it is.
You know what I'm talking about.
Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, because she can swing she's so stretchy. She can like grab up a ledge that's like 20 feet above her. She almost feels like Spider-Man. I was like, there's my Spider-Man right there.
She don't got to shoot webs. She just shoots her arm.
No, man. Like I said, I unlocked more things for her. Iron Man feels like what you saw in the Avengers 10-year movie series. I mean, it's just, dude, I was blown away. I mean, I'm all day one on this, and then you can play with 3 other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Captain Stretch, that was not right.
I couldn't think of his name either.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, no doubt.
It's late, man. I'm tired.
We got BZ McNasty in the chat and King Ram. What's up, guys? Thanks for being here and checking out the podcast. Greatly appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying it so far. So getting down a few more topics to go. And of course, our news segment, if you guys had missed it last week, we have a new segment now that is called Ask Ernie. So I'm just dropping that for you now so you can think of a witty question that you might like to ask Ernie before this show closes. Again, I'm not going to take everybody's questions if there's too many. I can only do so many. I don't want it to run on, but it was a lot of fun last week. Glad to have it back this week. And Titan's got a little segment he's bringing to the show as well, and I think we're going to drop that here shortly as well. So let's get into a few more topics before we get out of here. Well, we do know that the worst kept secret in the world is basically out and about, and that's Batman Court of Owls, set to debut on the 22nd. The cryptic hinting from Warner Brother Games is ending to go out. So new Batman game in the works since we're on the superhero theme. Who's excited, or is it about freaking time? I mean, geez, like it seems like we've known about this game is forever, but yet how in the hell have they just not shown anything up to now? Like it's kind of blows my mind, but hopefully we see something legitimate on the 22nd. How do you guys feel about it?
Did they, dude, that worked so much. Did they actually come out and fucking reveal there's the Batman Court of Owls game?
It's a cryptic message set up by Warner Brothers, and if you put it all together, it's
Oh,
Court
I
of
saw,
Owls.
I saw it last night. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I saw it last night. So we
And
still
I think it was alluded to many times before with various hints. Like I said, it's basically the worst kept secret. We know there's a new Batman coming. Question is, what's it going to be? How's it going to look? And when's it coming out? Right.
yeah.
So I'm excited about it. I mean, about time. I think it goes inside with one of the DC like Comic-Con style shows that they have. So it makes sense that they would announce it on that kind of platform to get a lot of traction there. So I'm excited about it. I don't know much about the Court of Owls. I don't really follow the comics that much, but either which way, it's going to be another stellar Batman game. I have no doubts about it. It's in good hands. We know it's no longer Rocksteady, but I think it's going to be incredible all the same.
I'll be right back.
Yep. Titan, you excited for a new Batman game? And is it about time? What do you think is going to happen on the 22nd?
Well, first of all, the worst kept secret was Fable. Now maybe now maybe it's the Court of Owls. Now maybe that's taking the reins. But initially, when I hear the Court of Owls, initially I'm like, meh, because there's been a few Batman games, and I just want, this is a me problem. I want that Superman game. So hitting Batman from every angle possible, it would be like you said a couple weeks ago or whatever, like, banging the only, you don't like it, right? So that's what that's where I'm kind of at with Batman, right? I feel like we've hit this, maybe this is the last possible angle to hit it from. And it's like, will it be that G spot for us? Well, I don't know. We'll have to see. But I do think this has the capability of surprise. Like, because like I'm just kind of personally done with. I'm just Batmaned out personally.
I'm going to tell you what we need. We need a Family Guy side-scrolling beat 'em up, because I really would like to kick people's ass with Quagmire. That would be so fucking awesome. Giggity, giggity, right? And every time he passes by like a strip club, he disappears in there and he comes out more powerful. You know what I mean?
No, man, you need a giggity virtual reality game or something.
Oh my god, wouldn't that be nuts? Family Guy in virtual reality, that would be a system seller, man.
You sold your PlayStation, VR recently. Yeah, the new Phenomics would kick in for sure, right there.
Oh, pretty sure I'd have it yet. Okay. Oh man. Yes, Captain Stretch could touch any G spot. That's a new comic book we got now, Captain Stretch. There you go.
Yeah,
Youngest
BC McNasty is right, my dog. BC in the chat. Lockhart, yeah. Since we all know about Fable, that was the worst kept secret. Lockhart, maybe the next one. I'm with him on this one. Okay, Lockhart. Good one, BZ.
All right, guys, we're at 9:25. I think it's time to get into. We'll get into our segment. Let's get into. We won't have Primal Eve tonight, and she didn't drop a Primal Eve question of the week, which is disappointing. But again, hopefully she's back next week, feeling better. So, so we'll get to there. But right now, it's a great time to drop your questions for Ask Ernie. If you guys have any questions you'd like to ask the big guy, he is here now. So Asking Arnold is live, guys. Drop a question in the chat. Titan, do you have any questions for Ernie? I think you dropped one in the chat earlier.
I do. I'd really like to save it for the last. Hopefully someone can come up with something while I'm just giving the spiel, because like my question, I feel like it could even, segue into another segment real quick here. Anyone got something in the chat for Arnie? I don't think
everybody's always got at least one crazy. Yeah, there's no questions yet. I saw people mention the segment, but no one's dropping the questions.
Yeah. There's only been mentioned.
Gotta be at least one. Got to be at least one in here.
Anything. Ask Arnie anything. I don't care if it's about his junk. I don't care about how hard does he get.
Come on, Titan. You know that me. I'm not a hoarder. I'm not going to talk about my junk. I've got boxes in the basement, but that's as far as it goes.
I missed the Batman subject. Yeah, there's a Batman game coming out. All right.
There you go. That's what you stand for. All right. Now, it really wasn't much to talk about because we don't know enough about it. But just, are you excited or you're not? That's as far as we can get. Oh, all right, there we go. Andre drops one. He says, Ernie, what games pump you up?
I love games that look really good because when I was back in my day and I was up on the stage, you know, I had to look really good. I had to put the lube all over my body and make sure that my muscles were glistening when I'm up there pumping the weights and I'm standing up next to all of these puny little bastards. And I'm there, I'm like, I'm Arnold and I am the beast and I'm here to kick some ass. But I mean, as far as the games, I love old school beat 'em ups. I love stuff that's graphically crazy. I mean, I go back in the day, I really loved the Terminator 2 arcade game because it was great to just stand in front of the machine with the gun and the Uzi and just blow the shit out of things. I love stuff like that. I think it's fantastic. We need more of these light gun games because you feel like a real badass. We got some more chat questions in here. Arnold, did Sarah Connor swallow? Yes, she did swallow. That's why there haven't been more sequels. All the kids were already dead.
To the 10 right there, man. Oh my god. That was on cue, man. That
can Arnold explain hot chips is a 12/10?
Yes, I love to have the hot chips because when I'm eating the hot chips, most of the time I can't even talk. Hell, I can't even talk now when I'm not eating the hot chips. Nobody understands what I'm saying because I'm still here in America all these years and I still sound the same way that I did back when I was like in my 20s. But I love the hot chips because it makes me go, and I love it. That's how I came up with those crazy lines from the movies because I eat the hot chips and I'll be sitting in the studio chair and I'm like, give me some milk, give me some water, let's do it.
Arnold, do you like fanboys who only only read one box over either?
Look, it doesn't matter what the hell box you play on as long as that you play on the box. And honestly, I love every type of box. That's why I cheated on my wife because I couldn't get enough of everybody else's box. I was in, the maid's box. I went to the next door neighbor. Oh, shit, I let one out of the bag. Keep it on the down low. But yes, I love any type of box. Anytime that I can pump anything up, it's good for me. I love it. Let's do it.
I was going to ask you, Arnold, how many boxes did you get into while you were with Maria Shriver?
There's a reason that she looks the way she does because I've given it to her from back on so many times that her eyeballs nearly pop out of her head. Yes.
Oh, God.
I don't like the hairy box.
No, I'm not really fan of Rumble in the Jungle when I go down. I don't like to be spitting or shitting. I just like to, get in there, move the meat flaps and go deep. I don't really want to go down there. And I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck am I in here? I feel like I'm back in Predator. I'm getting stalked by an invisible fucking alien. It's coming for me.
Arnold don't like to. He don't need to bring the minigun to shave off the pubes.
No, that's what happened is when I get to shave the pubes, I call Sonny Landham over to the house. He's got the big machete, and he goes in deep. He's like, fuck you, I'm going to cut it out there. Arnold, you go deep.
Now I understand Sonny Landham's quote from the movie. He's like, "You're not afraid of anything." He's like, "This I am." Big Bush is gonna get him.
Now we know why he said what he said, right? Oh, fuck.
Oh, Cyber said, "Who is stronger, Arnold? You or the Series X?"
Of course it's me. Of course it's me because that thing is an inanimate object. It's going to sit there and it looks like a mini refrigerator. But I am the fridge. I'm eating the fridge. I am the fridge. That's how we do it. Yeah.
Excellent.
All right. That's great, guys. I think
my last one.
Yes.
I gotta do my last one. All right, Arnie. Last question of the night. What do you think of the PlayStation being cooled with liquid metal?
Well, I think that's the next wave. I mean, the liquid metal, that only makes sense. What I can't figure out is why the fuck we're blowing into the controller. I mean, can you imagine how weird it is when I come over and I invite my friends to my house and we're playing all these games and they say, Arnold, I want you to play this game. And they look at me and I'm like, blow. I get to blow into the controller. It's going to make shit move all across the screen. And, like while you're blowing so hard in my controller, getting, spit germs and everything else all over it, why don't you come down in here and you blow my massive beef sausage, okay? Just hang in there for you. Blow that instead. That'd be crazy. But the liquid metal is great as long as the fucking thing don't get back up and I got to shoot it with a fucking rocket launcher. Because if that shit gets up off the ground like fucking the T-1000 starts haunting me again, I'm going to be fucking pissed off. And you guys know that when I have the rocket launcher gun and I shoot the fucking thing, it just blows holes in it and then it comes back, and I hate that shit. I can't stand shit that comes back. I wouldn't even want to shit in my toilet if it come back. So let's knock it off.
I'm laughing so hard I gotta go take a piss break, man. You do talk about the liquid metal PS5, and I'll be right back.
All right, guys, there you go. So there's Arnie. Thanks for the questions, guys. That was fun. Hope you enjoyed it. A lot of fun times right there. I think Titan's got to go drain the lizard here. So let's get back into the last few topics before we get out of here. Well, we got Titan's segment as well, so we got to wait for Titan to come back. This is more of a movie topic, but if you haven't heard, Jamie Foxx is set to play Mike Tyson in an upcoming movie biopic. We've seen Mike Tyson movies, I think, in the past, but this one should be cool. I'm very interested in it. If you guys haven't seen the pictures, Jamie Foxx has put on a massive amount of muscle for this role. Looks really good, actually. And if anybody's going to pull it off, I think it's Jamie Foxx. Guy's an amazing actor, and I definitely can't wait to see his take on Iron Mike. How would you feel about that? Would you watch that, Jago? Are you excited for the movie? And I guess most importantly, what biopic have you ever watched that you were a big fan of that you felt was pulled off really well? Great casting call and just done really well.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Look, I don't watch every movie. I don't have time to watch every movie. I'm gonna be honest. So, a lot of people just hype up these certain movies. I'm like, I'll catch you later. And I gotta be really into. I'm kind of like that with gaming. Maybe the older I get, I'm like, I'm like, I give the old Al Bundy.
Yes.
That's cool. He wasn't it Jamie Foxx? He portrayed
he did Ray Charles.
Ray Charles, yeah.
For Ray, yeah. ATL in the chat, what's up? And he dropped that actually. Ray, what's going on? And BZ McNasty, Fastbacks in the house. What's going on? Yeah, that was fantastic. That would be one of my picks.
That was really good. But then I think about it was one that I can think I remember watching. I don't know. I don't remember how old this movie is, but it was Joaquin Phoenix playing Johnny Cash, right? Or am I crazy?
Joaquin Phoenix, right?
Yeah. That was really that.
That was another great one.
Yeah, that was. Just off the top of my head, because these movies don't come around all the time, but that was one of my favorites that I can remember seeing. Yeah.
And I think it was Jim Carrey did a pretty good job. I think it was Andy Kaufman, was it?
Yeah. I'll watch it, but they're not my. I hate to say they're not my go-to movies,
right?
But I think Jamie Foxx did a really good job when he portrayed Ray Charles, and like I said, Joaquin Phoenix when he portrayed Johnny Cash. They were really good movies. I ain't gonna say I'm gonna watch it day one, but I'm sure I'll eventually get to it.
What's going on? New person in the chat. We got Kiwi over to kill. What's going on? Kiwi. That sounds like what's her name from Microsoft? Kiki. What's her name?
Anytime you say Kiki, all I can think of is Kiki D.
I just when I say Kiki, I think of Kinky.
Yeah, of course, the Black Rider would know this. The movie was called Walk the Line.
Walk the Line.
Dongle breaking my heart.
Yes, Emmanuel A1 laughed my ass out. That was one of Arnold's best appearances. I think that was definitely one for the ages for sure.
That was the best one. Oh my God, I had to piss. That literally forced my bladder to take me upstairs.
That's fucking awesome. Glad you liked it, guys. Glad you like it. Well, that's going to be a regular staple each week, baby. That's how we go. Yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, it's just a movie talk. And that's the saddest thing right now, man. With everything the way it's gone, we don't even know if in a year's time if half the theaters are going to exist. It's sad right now.
Yep.
Fuck, man. I'm missing it. I don't go to movie theaters a lot, but
they're fucking expensive, Noof.
Yeah, they're really getting hard. And what we're seeing now is a big trend towards streaming and
digital, baby, digital.
Right. So, yeah.
COVID has really made people really, really push harder on the digital.
We talked last week about how Disney is going to kill the 4K Blu-ray format. Yeah. And that means the Fox movies won't come out on it either. So that's just, I'm not excited about where things are going. I hope that we get some sense of normalcy by, the middle of next year, but I don't know how it's going to go. So, yeah. How about you, Titan? Is there a particular biopic you've ever watched that was kind of your favorite? The actor was really cast well and stuff like that.
Oh man, I can't think of one of those off my head. But you guys were talking about
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx earlier, and
Yeah, because he's going to do the new Mike Tyson, and he did a great job with Ray.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I was going.
Just say Joaquin Phoenix.
What?
Not like Walk Waffle?
Joaquin Phoenix when
Yes.
Joaquin Phoenix when he portrayed Johnny Cash. That was really good.
Yeah.
If you had ever seen that one, it's really good.
No, I like Jamie
know-
Foxx's portrayal of.
I mean, Rami Malek did a hell of a job with the Freddie Mercury with their Bohemian Rhapsody. That was pretty nuts. But I mean, as far as a casting though, like to me, he didn't really look the part. There was other actors I think that looked the part better, but he definitely killed it. He
Fastback's got a good one in chat.
Will Smith as Ali.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh
Yeah, he did a good job too. And that's not an easy feat, pulling off of Muhammad Ali. So yeah.
I just wanted to say that Sylvester Stallone did a great job with Rocky. He pulled it off. The guy does an amazing job. The guy, but I'll leave it there. That would be great. One of these days, maybe me and Arnold, or me and sort of Sly will hook up in the boxing match, and like I'll be like my dude from Commando, and he can be Rocky, and we'll just pound it out and see who's better.
Pound it out. Pound it out. I like it.
I always wanted what I wanted to do though, and I never told Sly this, but I always wanted to hang him up by one foot like I did with Sully back in Commando when I had him hanging over the road, and I was like, come on, Sully, that's what I wanted to do with him.
Don't kill me, Matrix! Don't kill me.
I also liked Will Smith's in the genie.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one too. He didn't like. I felt like he didn't like step on the toes of Robin Williams, or he kind of took it in his own way, and I think that was the only way to do that.
A very terrible job of impersonating Robin Williams.
Nobody can impersonate Robin Williams. That guy was a legend. He's got a biography movie coming out here pretty soon.
Does he?
I watched the trailer for it the other day. I think it's called Robin Williams something or another. So it's a kind of a movie about a bit about his life, and of course how he kind of went downhill and what he was dealing with. And apparently, I guess he had some issues. Like I think I think he was dealing with a certain form of dementia, I think, or something like that. They were saying, and I think it was kind of really, it was really bringing him down.
He ended up killing himself, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sad, dude.
Crazy.
Rocky was 5'2", yeah, but Ivan Drago was how big?
Like 6'4", so 6'5" or some shit. I will break you.
If I was a little pipsqueak like Rocky, the first thing I would do would be just shots to the nuts. Shot to the nuts in the can, knock him down. That's what you do, and then you clock him in the face.
You know what would have been really funny if he said, like, hold on, Ivan, hold on. And he gets the step stool and try to so he can punch him in the
face. He comes out on a pogo stick. Oh man! Yes.
Hit the one in the middle.
The one in the middle, Rock. All right, guys, good stuff. Titan, are you ready to drop your segment, sir?
Yeah, sure. Real quick, precursor, because Ernie was on fire tonight. I don't think I will top that tonight, but well, you've set the bar, and I'm gonna have to raise my gaming segment here because my segment is gonna be weekly is gonna be called In the Next Generation segment. Okay, and if you guys don't remember, this is my gaming version of the old Conan O'Brien skit in the year 2000. Okay,
yeah.
And hopefully next week I can get Newfin on it too, and we can kind of do a back and forth. But I got about 4 of them for you tonight. Here we go. In the next generation. In the next generation, PlayStation players will blow into their controllers. Now, obviously, we all know this, but if I would have said this 6 months ago, you all would have disowned me.
Mm.
Next generation. In the next generation, people finally blame something on video games that makes sense. In the next generation, In the next generation, PlayStation's strategy is to patent every possible new controller design possible. In the next generation, Mooch perfects his mooching game and owns one of everything. And that's the end of the segment tonight. Thank you.
Nice, very nice, guys. I love it.
Yeah,
Great stuff from Titan Drago in the next generation. He'll be back next week, same time, same place, with another next generation. All right, it's gonna be good. Can't wait to see what Primal Eve comes up with here in the next little while. So, like I said, hopefully she's feeling better and can join us next week. Axel 1324, what's up? He's late, but he said Flight Simulator is legit. Well, that's good to know. That was the first topic we talked about tonight. We were saying just that how incredible and crazy that game looks. Yes, indeed. Fugly says PS5 is RDNA 5. All right. Yes. Yes. All right. But that's going to bring us to the end of the show tonight. I want to thank, we had over 50 amazing people. We had a few super chats here tonight. You guys were amazing. Huge thanks, obviously, for Jago for coming up and making. I know it's late in his neck of the woods, and I know he's tired, but he still brought it to the show as he always does. Everybody in the chat, you guys are fucking fantastic. Love you guys. Awesome. And yeah, we'll be back again next week, same time, same place. Let's get everybody out of here, and let's start with our guest, Mr. Jago Kuken. Where can people find you? What's happening over the next little while for you, brother?
Well, you can find me at work. You can find me asleep in my recliner because I'm getting fucking old. I'll be 43 this upcoming Monday.
Hot
damn, very nice.
Yeah. But no, this fucking show was phenomenal, man. I always have a blast with you. And Titan, man, I love you, man. I love your energy.
Guys, make sure you send Jago, make sure, you know, with your donations, you send Jago some baby powders so you can powder those old crusty balls.
Yeah, man, this was fun. Shout out to the chat, man. Y'all are awesome. I know I wasn't in the chat, but fuck, I'm tired. Oh my god. Yeah, it's almost. I had like fucking 14-hour day today. It's almost midnight here.
Yeah.
But when I tell Newf invites me, and I tell him I'm gonna be there, I'm there.
He's there.
I never let my brother down. But yeah, you can find me on Retro Renegades, which I wasn't a part of tonight because of work. Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. On every Tuesday with either on Super's taking a break. He's got, I don't know if he's got COVID, but he's been
no, doesn't he have a relative that's ill right now, or his mom or somebody?
His mom, but he's got his mom with him, and she's not well, and his girlfriend just got tested with COVID, so he's taking a break. That's why he put out that tweet the other day, taking a break for a couple weeks off. But
shout out to Supersonic. Hope you get well, man. Keep the family. We'll be thinking about you, brother. Get back. He's a unique and awesome dude. So
yeah, Super's awesome. He loves to just piss off like fanboys.
Oh yeah,
he trolls. That's what he does. But yeah, you can find me there on Retro Renegades with Graphic God. Holy shit, Crispy Bomb, Infinite. He's in the chat. Daz, when Daz is a permanent member.
Yeah,
Daz, love you, man. Flemish now, and holy shit, Stinking Corpse.
Yep. Great crew.
Yeah. And then whenever whenever we get invites, I really don't have a whole lot of time, but I always enjoy them, especially hanging out with you guys, my brother Noose and Titan. You're funny as shit, dude. Love you.
I appreciate it, man.
But yeah, and then whenever I'm in gaming, if you see me online on the Xbox or PlayStation, just hit me up. My gamer tag on PlayStation is my old school one. It's Tuscany 34. And then on Xbox, it's Jago Kuken. So you'll see the same picture.
Yeah, and if you still want to play some Anthem, hit Jago up. Jago does actually like playing the game, and I will play it too. If you want to play some Anthem, I'm down. I like that game. Some people hated it, but I thought it wasn't bad. Yeah, it could improve, but it's a topic for another day. We got some super chats before we get over to Titan. We got Infinite who drops $4.99 and it says, "Great show, awesome guest. We couldn't agree with you more, Infinite. Thanks for being here and thanks for the super chat." We got ATL who drops $5 in the super chat. $5 for my new ringtone, Next Generation, in a high-pitched voice. There you go. Sounds like something caught on already, baby. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yes. Thanks again to everybody being here. Spider-Man 356, Timothy Dixon, two of the most loyal people that come out to the show just about every single week. We had Back from the Dead here tonight. Great crew. Community game night, guys, if people are wondering. I will bring that back soon. I'm tempted to do something this weekend. I just kind of haven't narrowed it down whether I want to do it on PlayStation or Xbox and what's the game going to be. If you guys haven't played it on PlayStation, check out that game, Fall Guys. It's free with PlayStation Plus. And it's an absolute stupid game, but kind of a blast at the same time.
Dude, that game makes me want to get on Steam and just download it, man.
Dude,
it's
freaking fun. It's the guy who reviewed it or whatever summed it up perfectly. It's battle royale, but done in like a Mario Party sort of way where you got 60 of these little looks like little fucking sausages in little costumes, and you're running and you're trying to avoid like the pitfalls and stuff, and it's frustrating, it's fun, it's hilarious, it's a lot of things. It's just one of those simple games that anybody can pick up and play. It's got like jump and grab, and just run mechanic. It's not hard. Anybody can play it. Yeah, it's fun. Fastback, definitely. Yeah, like I said, I played it a few times, went a few rounds, and had a blast with it. So it is free on PlayStation Plus. I don't know what it costs on Steam, and I don't think it's out for Xbox, 20. Right?
No, not yet. It is coming to Xbox. All but confirmed, but we don't have a time for it. I can't believe that game's not on Xbox. That kind of hurts my feelings because usually Xbox is all about those, multiplayer, crazy, quirky, cartoony kind of games.
Well, that reminds me, we didn't even talk about the Ghost of Tsushima. Somehow I fucking missed it, but I'm not going to bring it up now. It's 9:48. All I'm going to say is I can't wait for that shit. It's going to be awesome. But we had a great show regardless. And let's get to Titan, Mr. Titan Drago. Where can people find you, brother? What's happening?
Everything at Titan Drago, everybody. And yes, shout out to the chat. The questions for Ernie were tardy, but they were fantastic. Jago brought the fire tonight. I love it. I love when someone matches my energy, man. If you how many and he's 43. I'm 37. I
can't match Titans most times.
I mean, damn, props to Jago. But Fastback said in the chat earlier, Kuken balls. So Jago, so Jago at 43, do you even have to shave down there, or you just bald down there, man?
They fell out years ago.
We know how Jago keeps his energy up. He puts tea bags in his asshole for an hour. Pull on the string, baby.
And until next time, everybody, don't forget to bring the common back to sense.
Hell yeah.
And see you to Mr. UK Dazzy, who I should probably make a moderator because he is like one of the best moderators out there. But anyway, guys, thanks for being here. Everybody, you guys are awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed the chat. Looks like everybody mostly enjoyed the show tonight. 1 thumbs down, so that's doing pretty good. So there you go.
That's been consistent. Someone's a Titan hater.
There you go. You popped in for 5 seconds and went, fuck that guy.
You've made it when you get a thumbs down.
There you go. Absolutely. Anyway, guys, we'll see you all again next week. Much love. Play games, have fun, and we'll see you then. And hopefully, like I said, and we wish Primal all the best, and we hope that she's feeling good next week and that she can get back on this show nice and consistently. So, all right, catch you later. And youngest though too was in the chat earlier, brother. I will get you back on the podcast. You did a great job, and you're here a few weeks back. Trend Kill Will, what's up, man? Sausages and Pitfalls. There you go. New people in the chat tonight too, guys. Love to see it.
Hell
great
yeah.
stuff. Spread the word, man. This is an interesting podcast. Yeah. Not many out there like it. Like I said, the topics are on point, but then they're kind of loosey-goosey. I love the way this podcast goes, and lots of energy and lots of great humor and stuff. So have a good night, everybody. Have a good night, Captain Crunch. Catch you later, guys.